Welcome to Russian Railroads, or I'm probably going to call it Russian Railroad / German Railroad, one of those. Anyway, here's the game we're playing tonight. Victory point track, round the outside, round the outside, round the outside, and then you have worker placement spots. Wherever you see ET, it's just a dude with a long neck. Those are workers. They're going to vary between 1 and 3 workers required to go there, out there on the various spots there. That's that. Game takes place over a total of 7 rounds. This is the time track, the engineers down here. Round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, 5, 6, and 7. In between each of the rounds, we are going to finish the worker placement-esque, or step, phase of it, if you will. Then all of us will individually score, and then we will go to the reset, go to the next round, do that 7 times, then we go into final scoring. Whoever has the most points wins. Now, that said, this is, I'm just going to teach it as is. So on your turn, in player order, you are going to place some number of workers and do a action. Here requires 1 worker. There requires 2 workers. There requires 3 workers. You get the idea. However many workers it takes that. Important to note, coins, which, by the way, the train theme poker chips, not a part of the game.
Not a part of it.
Thanks, Mercury Games. So coins are workers. Workers are not coins.
That's right.
So coins can be used in all ways, because money's more important than people, clearly. That's the way I think of it. That's society, right? Okay. So on your turn, you go put out some number of workers, take the action. Very straightforward. All of these are all pretty straightforward. I will cover these in detail once we get started. Worker and a coin is very specific. That can be 2 coins. It cannot be 2 workers. Here is the only unlimited worker placement spot. That's why hence goes on in ad nauseum, if you will, and do one of those 2 things. Pretty straightforward. When somebody goes there, nobody else can take that action, the exception being right there. And unless there's a rule breaker, and it just so happens in our game, I don't believe there is a rule breaker there. So even if you've gone there, nobody can go there, including yourself. So on your turn, take some number of workers from your supply. In a 4-player game, we start with 5 workers. So take an action, do a thing, next player's turn in turn order. Okay? All right, so now let's go ahead and get y'all familiar a little bit with the player board. These are that got wonky. Let's try that again. There we go. Sorry about that. So, on our player boards, they are symmetric in that they have the ability to go asymmetric in German railroads. Everybody starts with natural wood available on each of their 3 rails. I'm going to call this yellow wood going forward because, again, train progression in 18XX goes yellow, green, russet, silver. Doesn't go past silver, but we have gold in this game, so there you go. So, at the beginning of the game, your yellow, or natural, wood has the ability to advance up that track up to the end of that track. The middle can go up there, and then it hits a switch. You either go north or you go south. And finally, the bottom one has the ability to go up to 9. I'll talk about this more in detail when we talk about the actions. But as it is, just that's how the board is laid out. In addition to that, everybody starts with a 1 loco on the middle track. The middle track is the only track that is going to allow for 2 locomotives. There's going to be 1 locomotive here. There can be a second locomotive there. Each of the other tracks can only have a single locomotive off the board, off the left side there. Okay, I'll talk about the rest of this as well as the factory and your wrenches down here in a little bit. All right, so now on your turn, place workers or worker as it were, and then come out here and do the action. Whenever you see move a rail, this is move natural or yellow wood 2 spaces. You can move 1 on one track, 1 on another track. You can move 2 on one track, however you want to do mix and match. This, very similar, except it's 3 instead of 2. Then when we get green unlocked, russet unlocked, silver unlocked, gold unlocked, etc. This space allows you to move any 2 track 1 space each, again, or 1 of 2 rail. Common sense applies here. Mix and match however you want. This allows you a natural or yellow or a single green. Okay, any questions about moving track? Moving on. Coming over here, this is where the main place where you're going to get locos, where you're going to get engines. Notice that the first 2 spots, this one is better than this one because it only takes 1 worker, that takes 2. It is take a loco or a factory. This one takes 3 workers, take a loco and a factory. All right, so with that said, let's take a look at the locos. The locos are down here, 2 to 10, take my word for it, they are. There are 4 of each in a 4-player game. You must take the lowest available. If there's a 2 available, you're taking a 2. If there are no 2s, you're taking a 3. The end. So whenever you take a loco, you're taking the lowest. For this spot, where you can do a factory before a loco, because if there's only 1, 2 left, you can turn it into a factory and then take the 3 loco, or vice versa if you want. So what does that look like? Okay, cool, I take that action, I take the loco, whenever you take a loco, you can put it, and you can mix and match the trains that you already have. You have a max spot of 4 trains, 1, 3, 4, pretty straightforward. So if I want to put this here, I can do so, okay, done. I can move that there. I can bring that down, however I want to do it. When you place a 5th locomotive over here on your board, it will then get removed from your board and come back out here like this as a factory that anybody can acquire. This is now a permanent factory, meaning this is only a factory. It will never be a 1 loco. So when it comes back out here, it will come out here on its factory side like this. So getting back to this now, going back to our example, taking a loco and a factory, I take then this one, and that will come over here, and at the bottom of the board, there are spaces that, hey, go like so for the factory. So here, and how that's going to work, and I'll just, while I got the camera here, you have a wrench. This wrench will move based on wrench movement, just like rail movement. When your wrench reaches that spot, do whatever that factory says. Hey, get a loco or a factory, whatever. This is a once or twice or 3 times thing based on your wrenches. I'll explain that more in a little bit. But then it will go up there, etc., etc. You get the idea. Okay, so that is locos and factories. Now, you might be asking yourself, how do you move the wrenches? Well, I'm glad you asked, self. Go here, move a wrench 1 spot, 2 spots, or 1, if you have multiple wrenches, move 1 wrench 1, 1 wrench another, or 2, or 1 wrench 2 spots. You get the idea. This is a wrench and a yellow rail. Okay, good, done. That's easy enough. These spots over here, this is take $2. Very versatile, because again, money is workers. Get 2 temporary workers for this round. Pretty straightforward, okay? In addition to that, there's also a doubler. I'll come back to that in a minute. There are these 3 spots also. This spot requires a coin. Can you put a worker here?
No.
No.
Why not?
Because it's not a coin.
Money
Good.
is more important than people.
There you go. So, anybody on your turn, in lieu of placing a worker, place a coin, take this engineer. If you get that engineer is going to come over here, and it's a personal worker placement spot. As your action, place a worker up there, do whatever it is that it says. Pretty straightforward there. These 2 spots will, for most of the game, have different engineers on it. This is going to conveyor down, so this is going to be available next turn. In 2 turns, you get the idea. When you go there, do whatever it says. Pretty straightforward on that. That's all the worker placement spots except for these 2. These 2, this is how we're going to change turn order. If red is in first, red cannot go to that spot. If blue is second, blue cannot go to that spot. Blue can go there, red can go there. Blue cannot, red cannot. You get the idea. On your turn, you go there and you do nothing else. However, once a player passes, either they're out of workers or they choose to stop, and by out of workers, I mean out of money as well, or they choose to stop. When you pass, it's a hard pass, you're done for the round. When all of us have passed, because it's going to become asymmetric as we go along. When all of us have passed, we will then change turn order physically by moving those wherever they need to go. Whoever's there will become first, and whoever's there will go second. But this worker now gets to go and do an action. What action can it do? Any action that is available that has a single worker. Meaning, if that spot is available, it cannot go there because that requires 2 workers. Even if you have a worker left over, or even if you have a coin or 2 coins or whatever you want to do, if you went there, it is a single worker spot, meaning those or that is allowed, I believe, because that is a single worker. It would also cost you a coin. You get the idea. This is unlimited, so you always have a spot to go to. Then after they have gone, that worker will go again, same rules apply, the whole 9 yards. And you can, if you have any personal engineers, you can also use them, provided they haven't been used already. You get the idea. That's how turn order is going to change.
Yep.
Then after all of that is done, then we are going to go through and we are going to score our rail individually. All right? So, I will go ahead and set this up roughly, real quickly, and probably screw it up. So let's say that's there, and I will go through our boards. Let's say I have that available. Let's say I have that there, and I have that there, that there. I have that'll work there, and I have that there. I think that works.
Yes.
I think so. All right, so let's talk about scoring as well as the nomenclature of our player board. You'll notice at the top of the board, there is a scoring thing. This happens at the end of every round, so there's going to be a total of 7 scoring rounds. Everybody is going to do this every round. You're going to start at the top of your board, work your way down, counting points for whatever it is that you got. So if we look, yellow or natural wood is worth 0 points.
0.
So even though it's out here at the 6, it's worth 0 points. In addition, and more importantly, there is no locomotive here. I don't care how far that makes it, even if it were something like this, this is 0 points because there's no locomotive here. I cannot stress that enough. Okay. Then we get down to this. There are locomotives here. You sum them together. That is 3 spots. So all that matters is spot 1, spot 2, spot 3. Before I talk about the scoring though, let me go ahead and talk about how these different places activate. When the natural wood reaches this spot, your green rail is now available to move. So we will literally take our green rail down and move it down onto here, and it's available to be moved, which now means these spots are now available as well as others that move green rail, right? Okay. All right. This one is the russet rail. Leads up or lines up behind the green. Important to note, this, like that, can never happen. This is okay, and then this is okay, but again, this can never happen. They must always stay behind the previous round, the previous color.
Yeah.
So that is the best that russet could go, because it's got to be behind green, which has got to be behind natural, as an example. All right. Also, let me go ahead and get, let's say, that there, and I'm going to change something around. Let's say that is there, that is there. That actually works out well. And let's say that there. Yeah, it works. Okay. All right. This spot are ideas. Ideas are handy-dandy one-time use, single-use bonuses. However, you'll notice that there is a locomotive icon right there. What that means is it gets unlocked when this is a 4 power or higher. So until there's a 4 loco there, doesn't matter. And it has to be unlocked by your natural going there, and when those things activate, whether one before the other, it doesn't matter, you then can place your choice, one of these there, and then, hey, I immediately get it. Okay, I get 4 coins, cool, awesome. Flip that over, that's now been used as an example. All right. You'll also note that when the green rail reaches this spot, you get another worker. So that is a 6th worker available. Not when that happens, but when that happen. Oh, good Lord. There we go. That, now I get this worker, and it's immediately available. All right. When you reach at spot 8, or going to spot 9, you now have a decision. It's a permanent switch. All rail follows that direction. It's either going to go north or it's going to go south. This is where silver is now available. Another idea, when it's powered at 11, 11 obviously is going to require 2 locomotives. And when you reach the end with the natural, whether it's this, whether it's that, whether not that one, yes, when it's that one and that one, I'll talk about those in a little bit, you are going to get a couple of options. The key represents you in the non-Asian railroad option. You only have the first 2. This third one is not an option, right? Oh, if only. Thank you, Fort Circle Games. There we go. This, when you immediately, when your natural reaches that's the end of the track, you get a bump on any one and one natural, and or 10 points. It's a one-time boost. Boom, done. Okay. All right. So now moving on. Down here, these again, they have locomotive symbols, meaning you got to have a loco to reach that spot. So then they will score points. I think that covered everything except for the modules. When your natural reaches the first of that spot, whether it's there, whether it's there, whether it's there, then you're going to go ahead and come up there, and you will choose any one of the available route extensions. The 4 spot goes on the 4, the 3 goes on the 3, the 2 goes on the 2. All of these are pretty straightforward and self-explanatory. The only one that I have not explained yet are these little blue once per round symbols. That is all of these right here. You take one and you can immediately use it. You can use it later on once per turn. And by turn or round, I should say, you can use it. So if you get it in the first round, that means you're going to get 8 coins over the course of the game. Or 7, sorry, once per round. Okay? And once you use it, you flip it over. Go ahead and flip the top one over for me. Look at that. It's a blue. Oh, there you go. So that's just a reminder that that's what it is. Obviously, when you take it, and that's it. You can have one of each, depending on how your rail works out. Make sense? Good. Moving on. Now let's go ahead and talk about scoring. Scoring at the end of the round. This scores 0 for 2 reasons. That plus no loco. But this, now we have a 3 loco. A 3 loco means up to this point like this. So anything past this does not matter for scoring, but the natural has made it to there, so that will score 0 points. The green has made it to there. The green will score 1 per spot that it's past the russet. So which means that is powered. This spot and this spot is 1 point each. But this has a doubler. Remember, you see that right there? That is a doubler. That's where you're going to get them. You're always going to put them left or right. So the green is going to score 1 point for this space and 2 points for this space because it's 1 times 2. That makes sense? Because we have a 3 loco. Then the russet is going to score 2 points per space, but this is doubled. That's going to be 4 points. So that's going to be a total of 7 points for that line. You peg the 7 points, cool, done. Then we come down here and we're going to score this one. Goes out to the 3rd spot. Again, natural is 0. Then green is going to be 1, 2 points because it's 1 point per spot. In addition to that, if these are powered, meaning a loco of at least that length, these are cumulative. They have the plus signs. This plus this. And if you have any other pluses and those are powered, you will get those every turn. So it's cumulative, meaning you're going to get 5 points in this case. And then we come down here, and wherever your wrench is, you're going to score that amount of points. So you'll see that that says 10 points. If this is here, you're going to score the highest that it's passed, which is 5 points. It is possible as the game progresses that maybe it's something along the lines of this. So at the end of the round, you're going to score 20 for that wrench and 5 for that wrench. And every time a wrench hits this spot, you're going to activate that just like what I had said before. Okay? All right, we are most of the way done through teaching this. So, on your turn, in order, place some number of workers, take 1 action. Next player, do that. Round and round we go. until everyone passes, then we do turn order, then everybody scores. We do that 7 times, then we go into final scoring. All right, a couple more things to talk about. The ideas. So these here, I'll briefly go over what these are. Get 4 coins. Move 4 rail, 1 spot. Get 2 keys, that's 10 points each, or natural and any other bump. This is flip that tile over to its backside. It's a higher scoring. Get 3 doublers. Get a second wrench, and then move 2 wrench bumps, either on the new one or the existing, whatever you want. Get 5 wrench bumps. Put that tile out there. Everybody has that tile? That goes out there. When green reaches that, and it's powered, notice, so that's 5 spots, so you need a 5 loco there, and that has a plus 20. Every round you're going to score 20 points, plus, if you have that, 25 points, plus your other regular scoring every round, okay? And lastly, we have the idea in Endgame scoring card. All right, so now I want to bring your attention to this stuff up here. Now, this right here, that is James's area, so ignore that. No, just leave it, leave it.
You get slapped with the hand.
Try it. Try it. Try it. Try it. Okay. All right, idea cards. There are 6 of them in our game. There are more that are available. If you choose this idea card, get that scoring, it's better at the end. Okay. This one, get a doubler, get a bump, and then 1 of those. This is take a factory of your choice that's available, obviously, and get 2 wrench bumps. Get a 9 loco. That's awesome. You get that bad boy early? Wow. Choo-choo. This one, get an engineer. Notice the 1 number. I will point that out here in a minute. I will circle back as to what that is for endgame scoring. It is a personal engineer, and get a buck. This gives you 2 bumps anytime you use it. This one is get a permanent worker, that worker specifically. And anytime it goes onto a spot that would increase this worker specifically, when it would increase the natural / yellow wood 1 bump, it will automatically get a 2nd bump of your choice. So basically, if he goes and gets that, you're getting 2 bumps. Mix and match however you want to do so. In addition to that, that tile also gives you an idea and 1 of these. These are endgame scoring cards. You look through the deck, you choose 1, you score it at the end of the game. Cool. That is the only way to get that, other than I think there is a factory. You're right. The level 9 factory also gets you an endgame scoring card.
It's very nice.
All right. So let's talk final scoring. At the end of the, check that, going into the 7th round. You don't care about turn order anymore because there's not an 8th round.
You don't.
That will go out there. Takes 2 workers, get 3 wrench bumps. Cool. All right.
Lots of industry.
Then we go into final scoring. After we get a 7th round of scoring, we go into final scoring. Final scoring is that plus engineers. Who has the most engineers? There are a total of 8 of them available. There are these 7, 8. So theoretically, we could go 2, 2, and 2. And if tied, how does that happen? Well, these numbers at the very bottom, or the right side if you prefer, that is the tiebreaker number. Whoever, of the tied players that are trying to score the 40, whoever has the single highest number, not cumulative, but the highest number, i.e. that one, if they get it, takes first, second takes second, or 20, third gets a bag of 0 points.
Yes. 2 of us will be crying.
There you go. Whoever has the most points wins. That is German railroads. Did I forget anything? Was that to your liking?
I think you covered everything.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching, y'all. If you enjoyed the video, and the fact that you're still watching leads me to believe that, hey, you did, maybe watch one of those videos. Subscribe to the channel. Consider supporting us over on Patreon. Really does help the channel. Really appreciate it, y'all.